A very good morning to the students of class 7. Today we will start a new chapter from civics portion. Okay, and the name of the chapter is Pillars of Democracy. We have already discussed what is democracy in our pre-midterm. So today we will discuss new chapter Pillar of Democracy. Please open your book, page number 208. Now, democracy, we have already discussed. Democracy is a form of government by the people, for the people, and of the people. So here we will discuss what are the pillars of democracy. In order to have a successful democracy in any country, what are the qualities or what are the reasons that has to be maintained properly? So in order to have a one house, एक पक्का घर होने के लिए पिलर चाहिए होता है. Similarly, in order to have a proper democracy, we need pillars. Now, today we will discuss what are those pillars. Okay, so let's start. We have seen that democracy is considered the best form of government. In this chapter, we will discuss those features of democracy which make it superior to all other forms of government. These elements are the essential conditions for the successful working of a democratic government. So, in our previous class, we have discussed about democracy. Democracy is the best form of government. So, in order to have a successful democracy, what are the features which has to be followed? So we will discuss this in this chapter. First point is enlightened citizen. Enlightened means to give knowledge. Okay. We know that democracy stands for the expression of the will of the people. It is the very basis of democratic government. In a democracy, changes are brought about by the collective will of the people and not by the use of the force. To make the right choices and to arrive at the right decisions, every citizen should be well informed and socially responsive. It does not mean that they should be highly educated or possess university degree, but that they should be enlightened enough to make responsible decisions. Thus, political awareness is an important condition of democracy. Now, in a democratic government, in a democratic country, every common people has to be informed what is going on in the government, what is going on in the country, because it is the common people who run the government. We elect our representatives, right? We elect one person for who will discuss our problems in Lok Sabha, and he will try to manage other things, right? So people should have a proper knowledge about the government, about the person. It is the collective responsibility of the common people to have a proper government, right? If we do not have a knowledge about the person who is standing in election, how can we vote them? So, in order to have a right choice, in order to have a right decision, every common people, we are the common people, we have to be informed what is going on socially, educationally, or what is going on in the government. It's enlightened doesn't mean that one should be educated, one should have a proper degree of education. It's not that. Enlightened means to give knowledge, the government or the country. This is why we have media. We have already discussed media, right? We have media because media will give us information. We, the common people, have a right to information. So, enlightened citizen means that only, the information only. If we will have a proper information, then we will be able to choose a proper representatives who will solve our problem. So, political awareness is an important condition of democracy. Every common people should be aware of the political condition in our country, in every democratic country. Okay. Politically enlightened citizens will be able to judge the performance of the government and make the correct choice of their representatives by evaluating the merits and demerits of different candidates. Such voters will not be easily swayed by false promises made by the candidates or by their money or muscle power. So, if common people are politically enlightened, then we will be able to judge the performance of the government as well as the performance of the representatives. We can have a clear idea about what are the good points and what are the bad points of our government and about the representatives, so that we will give our vote to the perfect one, right? And government also, they cannot make us fool by giving us false promises. Okay, this is the reason every common people should be enlightened. So the first pillar of democracy is enlightened citizen. Common people should be informed. Political awareness should be there in the common people in order to have a proper government. Next is wise leadership. Next point. In large countries, people cannot directly administer themselves. They elect political leaders to represent them in the legislature. Elections are an important part of democracy. Different political parties contest election by fielding their candidates. The party leaders enlighten the voters at the time of election. As a part of the election campaign, several public meetings are held in which various issues and problems are discussed. This helps people to make up their mind about whom to vote for. Once elections are over, the party which gets the majority form the government. If none of the party gets a majority, a coalition government is formed. Now, the wise leadership. In every democratic country, it's not possible for the common people to participate directly. We cannot participate directly in any decision making in the government. This is the reason we have election. In every democratic country there is election. In that election we choose our representatives, we choose our leader. Okay, so the election happen in every democratic country. First of all, the parties will select one candidate for the election. Then they will have election campaign. You must have seen the flags and banners and meetings and rallies when the election time is coming, right? So that is called election campaign. During that election campaigns, the leaders, whoever is contesting the election, they used to say something like, I will do, if you give me vote, then I'll do this and this. I'll make your village a prosperous one, and I will solve this problem. So these are the things they used to say during the time of election. So we will have a clear idea that this person might do something for our society or for our country. That in that election campaign, some of the leaders, some of the candidates during that election campaign, they even solved certain problems. Okay, so if they are solving the problems, then we have that idea. If we give our vote to this person, then he or she might help us in future. So that is called election, and we will give our vote. The common people used to vote. Then the party, whichever party gets the majority of votes, he will form the government. If no party gets the majority, then there will be a coalition government. Coalition government means when two or more than two parties mixed in one single party and they form a government. That is called coalition government. Now in India we have a coalition government, NDA. Okay, NDA government. BJP is the leader of NDA government, and there are so many other parties in that NDA. So we have coalition government. So if majority is not there, then they will have a coalition government. So wise leadership. This leadership has been we can have these leaders when we give our vote. This is the reason in every democratic country, election is must, and election should be free and fair, so that we can elect our representatives who will take a decision on behalf of the common people. Okay. Thus, if the voters are enlightened, they will only elect leaders who are efficient and committed. If such wise leaders run the government, the country will progress in a truly democratic manner. So, during the time of election, they used to have election campaign and all. And if the common people are politically enlightened, if the common people have a clear idea or a clear knowledge about what is going on in our country, then we can decide, right? We can decide that who will be the better representatives, then we can give our vote to that particular person, and we can decide this wisely. So if we decide wisely, then obviously the leaders will also be a wise leader. A good person will become our representative, and if the leader is wise, then obviously the country will progress in a truly democratic manner. So these are the 2 points which we have discussed today. One is enlightened citizen, another one is wise leaders. Okay, please listen to this video very carefully. You will understand everything, and in our next class we will discuss sound public opinion. Till then, take care.